Hi guys, and welcome to the. Hey guys, uh, I'm very excited to show you this program that we currently use for to manage our portfolio, all the finances, um, and it's called BetterCapital.us, and it was built by a good friend of ours, Bobby Sharma. He is in. Um, in Silicon Valley. He's very a savvy IT guy, and he wanted to provide this type of service for real estate investors, and we took advantage of this. One of the beauties of this system that we're currently using is that it's totally free. Okay, and it's also very user friendly, and the visuals are amazing. I mean, as right now, what I'm sharing, what you're seeing on the screen is our portfolio. And as you can see right here, you can see the income for the last 12 months and the expenses for the last 12 months. For those of you who can just, by looking at this, figure out that the expenses have been very high, don't worry about it. We've been working with Oscar and our team to reposition this portfolio. So there's been a lot of expenses. However, as you can see right here, the income as we progress in the last 12 months has been um, rising. Okay, here in April, if you can see, like I said, I'm just showing you the visuals on how it's just a snapshot of like, okay, cool, this is what my portfolio or what my investments are looking at. Right here in April, you will notice that the income is low, and this is because I started to upload some of the financials for some of the properties. So this is not um, the full amount of transactions for the entire portfolio that we own, and that has been uploaded here. I just wanted to show you uh, and share with you what we've been using, and I want to show you how to do it and how easy it is to upload all this information and be able to see how your assets are performing. So we have a couple of features right here. Um, having my, I mean, to also add to this, this platform is not 100% completed. It's constantly on work, and the way that Bobby has been updating this with his team is he's using me as one of his customers, and as I use this platform and I find things to make it easier or to make it better uh, for for the investor in on the visual side and the way that we use it. Um, he's been tweaking it. So every time I go in and I see that things can be done easier or things can be added, he goes right away and he adds that information or he changes the uh, the things on the website to make it better for us the investors. Okay. So just like I said, have in mind, I'm not gonna go through every single feature. I just want to show you the what I do and what I find useful, which is almost all features. But there's features out here that you can see. For example, private lending. We don't do any private lending, but if you're a private lender, if you know somebody that is into the private lending, they can use this to follow their investments and see how they're performing. Okay. If you have done syndications or if you have any syndications on the private, I mean on the active or passive side of syndication, you can also track your how your deals are doing, returns and everything else. Okay, and then if you have a primary home, you can also add it here and see how um, uh, manage your expenses and how that is also behaving and affecting your overall profile. Okay, so here we have the overall. You guys seen this already. Uh, basically showing how much we're cash flowing every month. Or I think this is monthly, so don't quote me on. This is not monthly. Sorry, this is overall for the year for this from January to May. The net operating income, of course, the overall equity that we have on this portfolio, and then if we're current or behind on bills. This is a little bit manual, and when it says behind bills, it's just every month you have to manually um, press on the bills that you have paid. Okay, I'm not too active on this side, but basically most of the bills that are current or recurrent are mortgages. So I need to go out there and start hitting that we paid our mortgage. Okay, so I just want to show you here are all our rentals that we have, and it's 13 of them, and it's pretty easy to add your portfolio. I'm going to show you. I'm going to give an example here of how it's done. So, for instance, I'm going to add a property that I just sold in California. 31945. No, no. Um, so, I mean, we already have our entity name. So when you're signing up for this website, you have to enter some personal information. And then as you input the properties, this is going to pop. Okay. This is self-managed. Let's say no, just for sake of training, because for sake of training, we're just going to say that this is rental and we have a property manager so you can see more of the functions. The platform that is that the property manager uses, I'm going to use Yardi because that's the one that I'm familiar with. That's the one that we use. Um, and the way that Bobby and his team has built this is that uh, each one of these platforms, when you pull down the financials from these platforms, what it does is that if you click Yardi or if you click Tenant Cloud, it it is smart enough to know what format each platform uses. So you don't have to manually go in and enter or kind of fix up the way that you're used to seeing it on that specific platform. So it reads it and it organizes it and it does all the math and all the it adds all the expenses and all the incomes uh, using that particular format. Okay, so in my case, I'm using Yori, uh, and then the information that is being pulled for that specific property is being pulled from Zillow. So this is kind of accurate in regards to what features the property has. But in this case, for example, it's missing beds. I know it had 3 beds. And then this is not accurate, but for the sake of the training that I'm trying to provide here, we're just gonna leave it the way it is. But you can also change it, right? I mean, if you know the information on your property, you can just manually change it. So you can go in there and change the price. I'm not gonna play with it right now. I just wanna show you the way it works. And then the rent, let's put that we rented for $1,000. Property taxes are annually another $1,000. And insurance, I remember it was monthly, it was like 27 bucks, $27. And then HOA, it was $88 monthly, and that's it. Okay. And then here we have it. Uh, you can add media. You can add media, like if you have any pictures of the property you want to add. But I'm gonna show you something. So now here's basically how you add the property. It's pretty easy. Then you go back to your rentals, and you'll see that the picture for that property was pulled from Zillow. So you don't have to actually pull pictures uh, for the properties. In this case, for example, there was no pictures. And I don't really care. I can actually put pictures in there, but it's up to you. But usually, most of the properties will be pulled because of the information on Zillow. So you don't have to actually do that manually. Um, but anyway, we're not using this property, so I'm just gonna delete it from this, which is not part of our portfolio. So, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add properties. Now, I'm gonna add I'm gonna go through the steps on how to add the financials on this, okay? So for instance, yesterday I went and added, uh, I was working on this yesterday, and I added the financials for this. So it's showing me, it's gonna show you the NOI of the property, the cash, all right, the ROI, the what was the cap, the total ROI, and here we see the equity on that particular property. Um, and here you can actually witness how we performed on this property, how we performed in the last 12 months. Okay, so the red is the expenses, the income is the green, and it's cool because you can actually see it. Okay, cool. On June last year, we actually made more money. And you click on this, and it actually tells you how much you made on income on that property and how much were your expenses. And you can visually see, okay, this is how we're performing. Now, the of course, there's a history on this property, and you can kind of make sense of it that the expenses were high when we were doing some of the rehab on this property. So, for example, February we did a lot of rehab, so the expenses were higher than the rent. There was a lot of turnover, and there were some vacancies during those months right here, and that's why it was low. But then we brought it up in January, and there has been some vacancies as well. Now, April, uh, you see a little low, and for example, May, you see it on zero. And the reason is because we haven't uploaded any information for May. So until we upload information on May by the end of the month or next month, then this is kind of spike or this kind of change depending on the situation for each property. So for example, like I told you guys, I started uploading information on April. So this one yesterday was on zero, and you're gonna see it on other properties. You're gonna see the difference. This one was on zero, and as I started uploading the information, this changed. Okay, so for example, the income on this property last month was 2,300, and the expenses were 1,400. We're still doing a little bit of uh, rehabs on these properties. So let me go back to the rental, and this one is another example. I uploaded it yesterday, so you're gonna see the difference, and you're gonna see the expenses are larger than the incomes. Again, because we're working on a lot of these properties on rehabs. Okay, so this is something that you're gonna see how you're performing, and you can actually set up goals, or at least be like, okay, cool. How come we on this month we make this much money, but then on this month we only did this. And also, it's easier for you to print those reports, give it to your lender or to your if you're selling them, and have it like a visual snapshot of how you did it instead of just a bunch of Excel spreadsheets that it's just numbers and doesn't provide any visuals. This is great that if you're trying to sell it and you try to be one of those guys or investors that are easy to deal with, and you want to make it easier for your buyer. Um, then this is a great way to share all that information. And then it gives you NOI, cash, the total ROI, the purchase cap, and how much you have in equity in that particular. Then I believe I did this one too. The reason I know is because April is high instead of zero, so I submitted that too. And this one, this property has performed wonderfully, as you can see. This is one of the most stable assets that we have right now. It has good equity, um, and overall, it's been performing good. On the last since October last year, September last year, it's been almost a straight line. Okay, so we submitted this one. And then let's see this one. As you can see, April, zero. So we don't have anything on this one. I know for a fact that we're working on a lot of repairs on this property. So we want to see, let's see how that changes from zero. Okay. So what I did previously was I went to Yardi and I downloaded the income statements for all the properties. So I have it right here on this folder. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload. Okay, so the way I upload it every end of the month or every beginning of the month to upload for the previous month, I go to financial. Oh, sorry, I go to transactions, go to import, and this is 1222. I look for 1222. This is 1222 and 1224. It's two addresses. Um, but on the reports is show differently. So it's asking me, all right. So this particular property is always tricky. So um, I'll play with it. I'm just gonna submit this one for you now. So Brian it was to management. So if I do this. You see, so there's things that I'm still learning. Okay, so let's upload um, 1222 first. You see, like I said, this property has two addresses, and in the system is smart enough to read that. Okay, um, so I got two different reports, even though it's one file. It's reading that okay, there's two addresses, so you need to file two different reports for the property. So I have 1222 and 1224. And you see, it's um, different type of information. So we're gonna submit this one first, import, okay? And I'm gonna show you just how it changed. So it changed a little bit because that's one unit. This is the duplex. And then another transaction, and we're gonna do the address that we put in 1222. Now we're gonna submit 12. That's how easy it is. Okay. And now you see this one, we have a vacancy. So that's why we're seeing the income being so low. Okay. Uh, so that's basically it. And then you go back to the next property. And so we did 1222, let's do 1018. Transactions, your import. Uh, I wanted to show you this. So we use Yardi and we already set it up. When you set up your account, you pull, what platform do you use? That's what we use right now. And I think that will be complete. So on there, 1018, import, and then overall, this is how it's performed. Okay, we actually get more money. We actually cash flow compared to the expenses. And if you, like I said, it's so visual that you just look at it, it's like, okay, cool. We outperform the expenses on that month. Right now, if you want to get in details, you look at it on the details, expenses. This is what you did. This is how you did it. Um, you can also go to the particular financials on that unit. So, for example, when we added the um, the property in California that I deleted. You can also go to financials, and this is basically um, you can put your tenant's name. You can put the how much you charge in rent. Were there any deposits when people moved into that unit? Like for example, she's been a long-term um, tenant. We inherited it. Sorry if I'm not saying that word right, but you know what I mean. um, this tenant came with the purchase of the units. But, let's leave it at that. Okay. Um, so there was no deposit. I guess we're guessing. I mean, there's. It was very poor managed the portfolio, so there was no paperwork, no paper trail saying that you need a deposit on which you did. So we don't put it in there because this one is. So we track those deposits because, as you know, those are not counted as income. Okay, they'll just go back to the tenant when they moved out, or we keep it if they didn't take care of the property um, the way a person should be. You know. So when it was paid, and so we keep track of all that stuff. The reports. To be honest with you, I don't wanna show you this because when last time I spoke to Bobby, there was no reports. So I don't really know how to use this. They were working on this. I don't really know how to use this. But you know what? I'm kind of curious, and I'm pretty sure you are too. To looking at this. So let's see. Let's see if they actually um, completed this. So let's see if I, sorry, I don't pay for Excel. Um, you can view on, okay, you can see it here. So you can pull some kind of report that you can use. So this wasn't available a couple of weeks ago. So you see, and this is something that I asked Bobby before. It's like, I mean, can we do some kind of report so we can print them out and keep track of that, or maybe if you're doing a refinance, you can actually provide it to your bank, or if you're selling it, you can provide it to the person that you're selling it to the buyer. So it's pretty useful. It gives you like a snapshot of that specific property. So like I said, that wasn't available a couple of weeks ago, and as you can see, you can also um, add more information to it as you progress. So, I mean, Bobby is making this so detailed and so user friendly. It's amazing. So let's go back to, oh, you can add all the documents, whatever documents that leases, insurances. Um, I'm not there yet. It takes a little bit of work. If you have a VA, you can actually employ your VA to complete all this. Like I said, we started this probably a month ago, and as I've been becoming more familiar with it, Bobby has been tweaking it to make it easier for this. You can have your more context for this particular property, and then I'm going to go back over here. Um, and I'm gonna add one more property, okay, just for sake of training. So again, here we see that it's on zero, but this is 922. And I'm going to, oh, here you see all the expenses. This is all the spreadsheet that was submitted. Uh, and I'm going to show you what I mean by, so management fee, uh, there is one financial. There's a transaction here that usually appears over here, and it's basically asking you. Actually, I did it yesterday. It's actually it's asking you if you paid your mortgage. So you click yes, and it accounts. it is accounted on all this data. Okay. So transactions, import, choose file, okay, choose file, mention to, okay. We go to overview, and again, this house has been constantly, the tenant has been constantly paying the rent. We had a little spikes on the expenses because we did some uh, repairs, rehab, renovation, whatever you want to call it. And then we lower the expenses. That's basically what we're doing throughout the uh, the life of the portfolio. We're lowering the expenses as much as we can, and we are increasing or um, making sure that the tenants are paying their rent. Uh, Again, it shows you, how much you have on equity on this particular property, and that's pretty much it, guys. Bobby Sharma from bettercapital.us. You can find them on LinkedIn. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. Uh, Please contact them. I mean, there's a box right here that if you create an account, you can actually ask questions. If you have any questions, also you can contact me. And I'm a very good friend of Bobby. If there's something that you have questions with, or you wanna be able to add to this to make it easier on you, just let us know. Contact me if you feel comfortable, and then we'll make it happen. Uh, and I'm very excited for for this website. One of the things that I probably didn't mention was that you can also Bobby, what he's working on is um, he's going to let this platform be able to talk to your banks, to your financial institutions, so you can pay your bills to here. I don't know personally if that feature is already available, but I know that he's working on it. So eventually, what he wants you, what his goal is for the investors to have this platform be able to manage everything. It's one stop uh, for all your real estate financials. I know for a fact that he's also working on adding other investment vehicles to this platform. So, I mean, this website is gonna be huge. It's gonna be great. So if you get in while it's free, go for it. I think he's gonna grandfather the people that joined early. But as you can see, his idea is great. I haven't seen this anywhere else, and uh, and I hope that you find it useful and that you contact us if you have any questions. So for now, I'm going to sign out and I'm going to leave it at this. Hopefully, you found it uh, like I did. I found it very amazing and enjoy it. And until then, peace out.